What if I told you that millions of Canadian seniors could wake up in 2026 and discover their pension payments are smaller or suddenly gone? This isn't fear-mongering. It's a real warning coming from economic reports, government projections, and pension experts who say the system is under serious strain. For people who spent decades working, paying taxes, and planning for retirement, this possibility is deeply unsettling. Here's the shocking part. Many seniors believe their pensions are guaranteed for life, but that assumption may no longer be safe. Rising debt, inflation, policy changes, and an aging population are quietly reshaping the rules, often without loud announcements. And by the time the changes fully hit, it may already be too late to react. So why is 2026 such a critical year? And who is most at risk of losing money they depend on to survive? Stay with me, because the next few minutes could change how you think about retirement forever. Number 1. Rising government debt. Behind the scenes, Canada's growing government debt is quietly becoming one of the biggest threats to senior pensions. Over the past decade, federal and provincial governments have borrowed unprecedented amounts to fund healthcare, emergency programs, and economic stimulus. While these measures were necessary at the time, the long-term cost is now catching up. Pension programs rely heavily on government stability, and when debt levels rise too high, tough decisions follow. History shows that when budgets tighten, pensions are often restructured, frozen, or reduced, not eliminated overnight, but slowly weakened. At the same time, interest payments on government debt are consuming a larger share of public funds. This means less money available for social programs, including pensions. Governments rarely announce pension cuts loudly. Instead, they adjust formulas, delay increases, or reduce cost of living adjustments. For seniors, this feels like a silent pay cut. Your pension may still arrive, but it buys less, stretches less, and supports you less each year. Many retirees don't realize this erosion is happening until their savings start disappearing faster than planned. Most concerning, experts warn that future retirees may face stricter eligibility rules or lower benefits as governments try to control debt without raising taxes. This puts seniors in a vulnerable position, especially those who depend almost entirely on public pensions. The uncomfortable truth is that government debt doesn't stay on paper. It eventually shows up in people's lives. Understanding this risk early gives you time to adapt, plan, and protect yourself instead of being caught off guard when changes arrive. If this hit close to home, tell us in the comments. Your voice matters. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, and it helps us keep bringing you honest, well-researched videos like this. Number 2. Fewer workers supporting more retirees. Today, Canada is facing a demographic shift that most people don't fully see yet, but pensions feel it first. The population is aging rapidly, and millions of baby boomers are retiring, while fewer young workers are entering the workforce to replace them. Pension systems are built on balance. Active workers contribute money that helps support retirees. When that balance breaks, the system begins to strain. In simple terms, there are more people taking money out and fewer people putting money in, and that gap is growing every year. Meanwhile, lower birth rates and changing work patterns are making the problem worse. Many younger Canadians are working contract jobs, gig work, or part-time roles that don't contribute consistently to pension systems. Others delay full-time careers due to rising education costs and housing pressures. This means pension contributions are arriving later, smaller, or not at all. Over time, this reduces the pool of money available to support seniors, forcing governments and pension managers to rethink benefit levels and long-term promises. Eventually, this imbalance leads to difficult outcomes that directly affect retirees. Benefits may grow more slowly, eligibility ages may rise, or future payments may be calculated using less generous formulas. For seniors who plan their entire retirement around stable pension income, this can feel like the rules are changing mid-game. The key takeaway is simple but serious. Pensions depend on people, and when the workforce shrinks, retirement security weakens. Understanding this shift now allows seniors and near retirees to prepare instead of being blindsided later. Drop a comment sharing your thoughts or concerns. We read everyone because these videos take real effort to create. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, and it helps us keep this information coming. Number 3. CPP changes many don't notice. For decades, the Canada Pension Plan has been viewed as one of the most reliable parts of retirement in Canada. Many seniors assume that as long as CPP exists, their income is safe. But what most people don't realize is that CPP doesn't need to disappear to hurt retirees. It only needs to change quietly. Adjustments to contribution rates, benefit formulas, and payout calculations are already happening, and future retirees may receive less than they expect, even after paying in for years. What's rarely explained is how CPP benefits are calculated. Payments depend on lifetime earnings, contribution years, and the age at which you start collecting. Small policy tweaks, like changes to how low-earning years are treated or how benefits are indexed, can significantly reduce monthly payments. On paper, CPP still looks stable. In reality, the amount landing in your bank account may not keep up with real-life expenses, especially as inflation pushes costs higher. Looking ahead, experts warn that sustainability measures could become stricter as more Canadians retire. That might mean encouraging later retirement, slower benefit growth, or reduced purchasing power over time. For seniors who depend heavily on CPP, even a modest reduction can disrupt housing, healthcare, and daily living plans. The most important step right now is awareness. Knowing how CPP works and how it may change gives you time to adjust expectations, explore alternatives, and avoid unpleasant surprises when retirement income matters most. Share in the comments whether you think CPP will still be reliable long-term. We want real conversations here. And please subscribe to support the work behind these videos. It's just one click, but it makes a big difference. Number 4. Inflation is eating pensions. Inflation doesn't make headlines the way pension cuts do, but can be just as damaging, sometimes even worse. Prices rise quietly year after year, while many pension payments stay nearly the same. Groceries cost more, rent climbs higher, prescriptions get pricier, yet pension income often increases slowly or not at all. This creates a dangerous gap where seniors are technically receiving the same pension, but its real value keeps shrinking. What many retirees don't realize is that not all pensions are fully protected against inflation. Some plans offer partial cost of living adjustments, while others cap increases far below actual inflation rates. Over time, this turns into a slow financial squeeze. Money that once covered essentials now barely stretches to the end of the month. Seniors start dipping into savings earlier than planned, selling assets, or cutting back on necessities, not because they mismanaged money, but because inflation quietly rewrote the rules. The long-term impact is especially severe for those who retire earlier or live longer than expected. A pension that feels adequate at age 65 can feel painfully small at 75 or 85. This is why inflation is one of the most underestimated threats to retirement security. It doesn't arrive suddenly. It creeps in, year by year, reducing independence and financial confidence. Recognizing inflation as a pension risk allows seniors to plan smarter, adjust spending strategies, and seek income sources that can better keep pace with rising costs. Tell us in the comments how inflation has changed your daily expenses. We want to hear real stories. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, and it helps us keep making in-depth videos like this. Number 5. Underfunded workplace pensions. Many Canadian seniors believe that a workplace pension is solid and untouchable, especially after years of loyal service. But the reality is that thousands of employer pension plans across Canada are underfunded, meaning they don't have enough money set aside to cover future payments. This problem often stays hidden during good economic times, only becoming visible when companies face financial stress, restructure, or shut down entirely. In practice, an underfunded pension can lead to painful outcomes for retirees. Companies may freeze benefits, reduce future payouts, or shift the risk onto workers through plan conversions. In extreme cases, pensioners receive only a portion of what they were promised. What makes this especially troubling is that many retirees discover these issues after they've already stopped working, when it's far harder to recover lost income or re-enter the workforce. Looking deeper, the root of this issue lies in optimistic investment assumptions and rising life expectancy. Employers once estimated shorter retirements and higher returns, assumptions that no longer hold true. As people live longer and markets fluctuate, pension obligations grow faster than funding. For seniors depending heavily on workplace pensions, this creates uncertainty and anxiety. The lesson is clear: not all pensions are equal, and understanding the health of your plan can make the difference between stability and financial shock. Have you ever checked the funding status of your pension? Share your experience in the comments. And please subscribe. It's just one click, and it helps us continue creating research-driven content like this. Number 6. Market volatility hurting pension funds. Behind every pension payment is a massive investment system tied to financial markets. Pension funds don't just sit in cash. They are heavily invested in stocks, bonds, real estate, and global markets. When markets perform well, pensions feel secure. But when markets swing sharply, as they have in recent years, pension fund can take serious hits. Sudden downturns don't always make headlines for retirees, but they quietly weaken the long-term ability of pension plans to pay what they promised. Over time, repeated market shocks can force pension managers into defensive decisions. To reduce risk, funds may shift to lower-return investments, which sounds safer but often means slower growth. Slower growth creates a gap between what pensions owe retirees and what the fund can realistically earn. For seniors, this can translate into reduced increases, frozen benefits, or subtle recalculations that lower future payments. The danger isn't one bad year. It's years of instability piling up. Most troubling, retirees have little control over these market forces once they stop working. Unlike younger investors, seniors don't have decades to wait for markets to recover. A major downturn at the wrong time can permanently affect retirement income. This is why market volatility is such a serious pension risk. It transfers uncertainty from Wall Street straight into seniors' living rooms. Understanding how pensions depend on markets helps explain why payments that once seemed guaranteed can suddenly feel fragile. Do market crashes worry you when it comes to retirement? Share your thoughts below. And please subscribe. It's just one click, and it supports the effort we put into bringing you clear, honest insights. Number 7. Policy changes and benefit rules. Government policies can change faster than most people expect, and pensions are no exception. While cuts are rarely announced outright, adjustments often come in the form of new rules, revised formulas, or updated eligibility requirements. These changes may sound minor on paper, but for seniors, they can mean receiving less money or waiting longer to qualify. What makes this especially risky is that many people plan their retirement assuming today's rules will stay the same forever. In reality, governments facing financial pressure often look for subtle ways to reduce long-term costs without causing public backlash. This can include increasing the age to receive full benefits, tightening income thresholds, or changing how benefits are indexed. For seniors, these shifts can feel sudden and confusing, especially if they're announced years in advance but take effect later. By the time the changes apply, many retirees have already made irreversible financial decisions. Ultimately, policy risk is one of the hardest pension threats to prepare for because it's out of an individual's control. You can save diligently and plan carefully, yet still be affected by rule changes made far away in government offices. This uncertainty highlights why relying on a single pension source is dangerous. Staying informed and flexible is no longer optional. It's a necessity for protecting retirement income in an era of constant policy adjustment. Have changing government rules ever affected your finances? Tell us in the comments. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, and it helps us keep producing these deep dive videos. Number 8. Benefit clawbacks catch seniors off guard. Many seniors are shocked to learn that earning more money in retirement can actually cause them to lose benefits. Programs like old age security and other income-based supports include clawback rules, meaning once your income passes a certain threshold, benefits are gradually taken away. This often catches retirees off guard because the reduction doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly, dollar by dollar, until a meaningful portion of income disappears. What makes this worse is that clawbacks can be triggered by unexpected sources of income. A part-time job, investment withdrawals, selling a property, or even pension adjustments can push income just high enough to reduce benefits. Seniors may feel punished for trying to stay financially independent. Instead of gaining security, they end up losing support they were counting on, leaving them frustrated and confused about why their monthly deposits suddenly changed. In the long run, clawbacks can significantly alter retirement planning outcomes. A senior who believed they were financially comfortable may realize too late that higher taxes and reduced benefits cancel out much of their extra income. This makes careful planning essential, especially when deciding how and when to withdraw funds. Understanding clawbacks isn't about avoiding income. It's about structuring it wisely so you don't accidentally give up benefits you earned over a lifetime of work. Have you or someone you know been surprised by benefit clawbacks? Share your story in the comments. And please subscribe. It's just one click, and it helps us keep delivering content that truly matters. Number 9. Provincial pension gaps. Not all pensions in Canada are created equal, especially when you look at the provincial level. Each province manages its finances differently, and that directly affects how stable and generous certain pension-related supports can be. Some provinces are better prepared for an aging population, while others face deeper financial pressure. For seniors, this creates a quiet inequality where retirement security can depend heavily on where you live, not just how long you worked. In some regions, provincial programs struggle with rising healthcare costs, shrinking tax bases, and population shifts. Younger workers move away, leaving fewer contributors behind, while the number of retirees continues to grow. This imbalance forces provinces to make tough choices, often behind closed doors. Seniors may notice slower benefit growth, reduced supplemental programs, or stricter eligibility requirements, even though nothing dramatic is publicly announced. The real concern is that many retirees never factor provincial risk into their retirement planning. They assume national programs will compensate for local shortfalls, which isn't always the case. A pension that feels adequate today can weaken over time if provincial finances deteriorate. Understanding your province's financial health and future outlook is an overlooked but crucial step in protecting long-term retirement income and avoiding unpleasant surprises later in life. Comment below which province you're watching most closely and why. We're curious to hear your perspective. And please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, and it helps us continue this important work. Number 10. Over-reliance on government pensions. For many Canadians, government pensions feel like a promise carved in stone. After decades of work and contributions, it's natural to believe these payments will fully carry you through retirement. The danger lies in assuming they are enough on their own. Rising living costs, policy changes, and system strain mean government pensions were never designed to replace a full working income, yet millions of seniors rely on them as their primary or only source of support. Over time, this over-reliance can create serious vulnerability. When benefits grow slowly, rules shift, or purchasing power drops, seniors with no backup feel the impact immediately. There's no cushion to absorb the shock. Even small changes can force difficult lifestyle adjustments, from delaying medical care to cutting back on essentials. This isn't about poor planning. It's about trusting a system that was meant to support, not fully sustain, modern retirement needs. The most important takeaway is that retirement security works best when it's layered. Government pensions provide a foundation, but personal savings, workplace plans, and flexible income sources create stability. Seniors who diversify their income are better positioned to adapt when changes occur. Relying on one source, no matter how reliable it seems, is the biggest risk of all in an uncertain future. Do you think government pensions alone are enough today? Share your honest opinion in the comments. And please subscribe. It's just one click, and it helps us keep creating thoughtful, well-researched videos like this. When you step back and look at the full picture, one thing becomes clear. The pension risk facing Canadian seniors isn't caused by a single dramatic event. It's the result of many slow-moving forces working together: government debt, demographic shifts, inflation, policy changes, and economic uncertainty. None of these issues arrive overnight, which is exactly why they are so dangerous. They quietly reshape retirement realities while most people are busy just trying to get through daily life. What makes 2026 especially important is timing. Many of these pressures are reaching a point where adjustments are no longer optional. Governments, pension funds, and policymakers are being forced to respond, and those responses often affect seniors first. That doesn't mean panic is the answer. It means awareness is power. The more you understand how pensions actually work, the better prepared you are to make informed decisions, ask the right questions, and avoid being caught off guard. This conversation isn't about fear, it's about control. Seniors who stay informed can adapt their plans, manage expectations, and protect their independence longer. Even small changes, like understanding benefit rules, planning withdrawals carefully, or diversifying income sources, can make a meaningful difference over time. Retirement security today requires flexibility, not blind trust in systems designed for a different era. If there's one message to remember, it's this: pensions still matter, but depending on them alone is no longer enough. The future belongs to those who prepare early, stay curious, and take ownership of their financial well-being. Knowledge doesn't eliminate risk, but it dramatically reduces regret. Share your thoughts or concerns in the comments. We genuinely read them all. Watch our previous video to go deeper into protecting retirement income, and please subscribe to support our work. It's just one click, and it helps us keep creating content that truly matters.